Everybody presumes that Duke is going to be a #1 seed. The Blue Devils play Miami today. Zion Williamson, we just got word a few minutes ago, will not play again. Of course, he suffered this grade 1 knee sprain early in the loss to North Carolina. Since then, they've beaten Syracuse, but then lost to Virginia Tech this week. Last game in Cameron comes up Tuesday against Wake Forest. The question becomes, they haven't been, they're certainly really good still, but they haven't been as dominant since Zion got hurt. Do they need him to return to make sure that they get a 1 seed, or they 1 seed no matter what?
I think with their body of work, I think they're closer to a 1 seed no matter what. Now, look, if you're the committee, how are you going to factor in the fact that a guy who's shooting 68% from the field, the potential #1 pick in the draft, is not on the team when he's presumptive to come back? He comes back, look, they even still went 4-2 in that very difficult stretch, and they were in both of those games. So I think if it's the whole body of work, and if you're taking into account Zion Williamson coming back, I think Duke has to be on that 1 line.
If he comes back and they lose to North Carolina, if he comes back and they lose in the ACC tournament, they're not going to be a #1, or at least they're not a lock to be a #1. Now, if he comes back and they win, they're going to be a #1. But if he comes back and then maybe he's not as healthy as he was, and they lose a few games, Carolina has a sweep, you can create a scenario with whether it's Tennessee, whether it's Kentucky, where they end up the first team on the 2 line. There's 3 right now in Leonard. It's not that that's fact, but there's a scenario where they could no longer stay on the #1 line.
I think you're going to have a hard time. First of all, I don't think they lose to Miami, Wake Forest, all that. You know, the North Carolina scenario, it's at Carolina, so that's possible whether he's healthy or not that they lose that game. I just don't. I think it's going to be hard to find 4 teams that are better than them when we get to the end of this. And if he comes back healthy, they're one of the best 4 teams. But I don't. The messages coming from the committee are that they're not going to be sitting there parsing out, you know, was this guy there? Was everybody at full strength? They're going to take your record as is, and that's probably the right way to do it.
If you do want to parse it down, though, Duke has still lost exactly 1 game all season at full strength. I mean, either had
to Gonzaga.
Out to Gonzaga, right? Yeah. The #1 team in the country right now. So they didn't put the word out on Zion until they went through shoot-around today. This is not inside information, just a gut feel. If he can at all, last game in Cameron, Tuesday night against Wake Forest, if he can, you know he's going to want to try to play, and it'd probably be useful for him to get a little bit of run before the Carolina game.
The best team in the SEC, and it really is, in my opinion, it's Kentucky. And here's the reason why. With Reed Travis out, E.J. Montgomery and Nick Richards are getting quality minutes and gaining confidence. So all of a sudden now their front court is developing legitimate depth to go along with that backcourt. I think Kentucky's the best team.
I agree. Kentucky's the best team, Reed Travis or not.
I got Tennessee win the whole thing. I think LSU's going to drop one either at Alabama or at Florida.
Okay, we'll see.
Ooh, pump fake.
There you go.
Two keys now to whether Kansas can extend its Big 12 championship streak to 15. First, TCU hosts Texas Tech today, Kansas State on Monday. Both of those teams are a game ahead of the Jayhawks. Second, Kansas is at Oklahoma State. They're 2-5 on the road in conference play, and they have 2 road games left. Now listen, my friend, you have flipped more than Simone Biles and flopped more than Vlade Divac on this. Will Kansas get a share of the Big 12 or not when it's all said and done?
No, Texas Tech wins the Big 12 outright.
He's come with you.
Wait a second.
I'm going back the other way.
You're unbelievable.
Yes,
you
I
flipped
am.
from yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Unbelievable.
Well, if you're right, and Kansas can't win the Big 12 on the court, maybe they can win in court. Kansas is reportedly seeking more than $1 million in restitution as a result of the college basketball corruption case. In a victim impact statement, victim being the school. And if you're still buying this, I will continue. The victim impact statement says, of the convicted agents and SHU execs, their actions have impaired the University of Kansas' ability to continue to fully use the resources for both the benefit and welfare of its student athletes, as well as for its ongoing mission of the educational and community development and enrichment.
Wow.
I do not need Jay Bilas, the lawyer, to translate the legalese for this. Let me tell you what this means. We want some more money. Give us some more money. $1 to the great John Mulaney. In a semi-related story, University of Paris economist Vladimir Andreev has written, all economic analyses conclude that the greater the flow of money into sport, the greater the corruption of the sport.
Oh.
That's only a semi.
Well, you're not going to get money if you don't ask for it. The court's asking, they're offering it, ask for it.
Oh, but we just want to cut through it and say what they're saying. We want some more money.
I thought it was about education. I'm confused.
Let's go back to basketball.
As long as the athletes don't get any of it, Kansas can have all it wants.
That's right.
RD on fire today.
Victim impact statement. Stir the pot a little bit.
What happened to Kansas State, by the way? No love.